Hi, welcome to my video. In this video, I'm going to tell you about my application Xiaomiease, which I have prepared for hackathon organized by Xiaomi and HackerEarth. Let me give you an overview what Xiaomiease is. It is basically a cross-platform billing application that can be used at outlets for billing purposes. It is created using Flutter, Firebase, and GetX. All the details and insights of the technologies used I have mentioned in my GitHub profile. I'm going to drop the repository link in the description box. You can read it from here. Now, without wasting time, now let's move on how to run this application. To run this application, you have to be sure that Flutter is installed in your system. To install Flutter, simply write flutter.dev here. Now select Get Started. Now it is asking the operating system on which you are installing Flutter. Suppose I use Windows, so I'm gonna select Windows from here. You can see all the details of how to install Flutter into your system. It is a very simple process. I'm not going to dive much into the installation of Flutter. After the installation of Flutter is completed, you can open command prompt and write one command, flutter doctor. This command will tell you the summary of all the details of the installation of Flutter. You can see here it is running. You have to be sure that Flutter and Android toolchain must have a green tick, otherwise the application won't run on your system. Now let's move on to the desktop folder. And here I'm going to create one folder and rename it as Flutter. You can open this folder in any of the IDE, that can be Android Studio or VS Code. I prefer VS Code. So I'm gonna open this folder in terminal and I'm going to write one command code space dot. This command is going to open the folder in VS Code. And I'm going to open terminal here and write a git command, git clone. I need to copy the repository link address. So I'm going to move to the GitHub profile and copy the repository link. And I'm going to paste the link here and run this command. You can see here that this repository is successfully cloned into this folder. Now I'm going to open main.dart. See, you can see here that some packages are missing or out of date. You can see some red lines or errors on the screen. This is because some of the packages are not installed into your system. To install the missing packages, you have to be sure that you are in the root directory of the project. The root directory of the project is Xiaomiease, and now I'm going to write one command, flutter pub get. This command will install all the missing packages in my system. Yeah, you can see here that all the red lines or errors are gone. This is because all the missing packages are installed into my system. Now I'm going to start my emulator. You can see here that emulator is launching. Yeah, you can see here that the emulator is successfully launched. Now I'm going to write one command here, which is flutter run. This command is going to run the application on the emulator. You can see here that Gradle task is running. It is a heavy process. It will take some time. So after the Gradle build is finished, you can see that the login screen is shown on my emulator. Since I have used Firebase authentication, I have added a dummy email ID and password. So without this ID and password, nobody is able to log in into the application. So the dummy ID is miuser@gmail.com, and the password for the same is 6 times 0. So when I'm going to mention these credentials, I'm able to log into the application. This is the welcome page. Here I have added one text, that is send professional invoices to your clients. Here you can see one logout button and one start button. So I'm going to click on the start button. This is the home screen. You can see here that you don't have any invoices here. Now we are going to create an invoice. We're going to create this icon, and yeah, we're going to move to the new invoice screen. Here it is asking for the credentials of the operator. So I'm going to write 111 here. The email address of the operator, I'm going to write it as the operator@gmail.com. In the phone number section, I'm going to write 444. Store address, I'm going to write MI store. Now I'm going to save these credentials. Now I'm going to move to the customer details. In the customer name section, I'm going to mention XYZ. Email address, I'm going to mention it as customer@gmail.com. Phone number, I'm going to give it as 369. And in the address section, I'm going to write place. And I'm going to save these credentials. Now I'm going to move to the items section. Here you can add multiple items. So item name, computer, item cost 5600. Quantity I can give 3. Here you can see one bug, that is bottom overflowed by 74 pixels. Currently I am working on this bug, and I hope I'm going to resolve it very soon. So I'm clicking add. I'm going to add the item. This way I'm going to add multiple items here. Suppose if I want to add laptop, I can give item cost as 6700. You can give quantity as 5, and I'm going to add this item. Now move on to the payment section, where I can specify how I'm going to make payment. In the signature section, the customer can sign the invoice. Save. I'm clicking preview button. I can preview the PDF, and I'm clicking save. I can save the PDF. Here you can see the invoice ID and one download button. I'm clicking the download button. I am going to download this PDF, but currently it is showing error because the specified path for downloading PDF is not created. So I'm going to create the path. So to create the path, I'm going to move to the Android SDK build section. In the Android section, in the data folder, I'm going to create a new folder as com.example.xiaomiease. And in this folder, I'm going to create one new folder named as files. Now I'm again gonna try to save the PDF. You can see here that the invoice saved successfully. Now I'm going to open the invoice from here. You can see the invoice here. You can send it using Gmail or any other application. I have also integrated the payment option here. You can make payment using GPay. Currently, Google account is not set up on the emulator, so it is asking to set up the Google account here. After the Google account is set up, you can easily make payments from here. This is the one way to run the app. Another way is to create the APK file of the app, which you can create by moving to the root directory of the folder, or sorry, root directory of the project, and you can write a command here as flutter build APK. This command is going to build the APK for the project. It will take some time. You can see here that APK is successfully built, and you can check the path of the APK from here that it is present in build, app, outputs, flutter, APK, APK release.apk. From there, you can download the APK file on your device and run the application. In case you have any difficulty in running the application, you can check my GitHub repo. I have mentioned all the methods clearly here, how to run the application. You can check it from here. Here I have clearly stated all the methods, how to build the APK and all. Cool. Since it is a prototype, so Firebase authentication is done only for Android. So it is recommended to run it on Android only. After adding certain dependencies, it will work fine for iOS, Windows, and even web. I hope this video will help. Thank you so much.